Okay, guys, so I am here in my classroom for just a little bit to gather some materials and to place some papers and books out on the tray for those who were not able to get it all to pick it up. So what I wanted to do was, while I was in my classroom, take a video of our science book and get some of the highlights that we normally do. So if you will, open up your science book to page 193. We are on chapter 8. This is Changes in an Ecosystem on chapter 8. And we will begin reading, and grab your highlighter or a yellow crayon. That way you can highlight in your book your important information. If you do not have a highlighter or a yellow crayon, grab a pencil and you may underline. Now, I have to tell you before we get started, this is a used book. So in this chapter, you will see my normal yellow highlights may be blue, and that's because the student who had this book the year before me highlighted in blue. So just bear with us as we go through this, and you'll see it as we get started. Okay, here's page 194. If you will label the bottom quiz number 8A, I know that might be kind of hard to see. It is quiz 8A on page 194. Go to page 195, label it quiz 8A. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit in hopes that it will show up better. Okay, we have page 194, quiz 8A, 195, quiz 8A. Then we have 196, quiz 8A, and then page 197, quiz 8A. I'm flipping back to page 193. You should read this story, you should read this section of your science book. And if you look on page 194, I'm just going to discuss the things that need to be highlighted. That way, it'll save time on this video, and you need to make sure that you read on your own. So we have on page 194, cycle or regular pattern of change. Highlight that. I took my laser pointer home, or I would be using that right now. On our second section, hey guys, I didn't want to be in the video. If you look over here, we have on the top, it says one of Earth's cycles is the seasons or the regular divisions of the year. Underneath that, you need to highlight these areas. Usually have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Nothing else for the rest of this section. On page 195, excuse me. The first column, we've highlighted in some areas of the earth, however, the temperature does not change very much. Next thing to highlight, they usually have 2 seasons, the wet season and the dry season. And if you go to our second column, monsoons are winds that change direction with the seasons. These winds control the wet and dry seasons in some areas. All right, let's turn our page. Page 196. Now you'll see I have some information written on the side of my page here. I wrote photosynthesis and respiration are part of the carbon cycle. I'll read that again slowly. Photosynthesis is PHOTOSYNTHESIS. Photosynthesis and respiration are part of the carbon cycle. I'll read it again. Photosynthesis and respiration are part of the carbon cycle. Okay, let's go over our highlights that we have on page 196. I'm going to move our book down just a smidget. I don't have anything highlighted on the top. It starts with, during the process of photosynthesis, plants use water, carbon dioxide from the air, and energy from the sun to form sugar molecules and oxygen. Then we have the oxygen that was formed during photosynthesis is released into the air. Then the last part, respiration, is the process in which organisms use sugar, molecules, and oxygen to produce energy. Moving to page 197, highlight this whole section down here. It says gradually decomposition takes place as bacteria, fungi, and other decomposers break down the bodies of dead things. The carbon is then released into the air as carbon dioxide. And that's all that you have for this first section.